Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero, and welcome back to Reshef of the Destruction. Those are a couple of words that I didn't think I'd ever have to say ever again. But basically, here's what happened. We've beaten the game prior, as you saw. We went Pegasus' castle, beat him up. Reshef came back, we beat him up, he swallowed Pegasus, we sealed him away, etc, etc. Game's over, happy ending, all that jazz. Unfortunately, there is still some stuff left to do in the game. There's a whole new area with a whole bunch of broken nutty battles called the Hall of Eternity. However, in order to get through that, you would have to beat the game, have a save file, start the game over, and then load the game back up, and you'll just see the new area there. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the previous version of the game that I was playing didn't let me save. I just wasn't able to use like the actual native save. So in order to save, you come up here to your house and you talk to this PC, which also heals you, and then you save. That would just not work on the previous version of my game, which has been unfortunate. So I just wasn't able to do that. So what I've done instead is that I've gone back and I've played the game all the way from the gosh darn beginning. And we're gonna go to the Hall of Eternity. But before we do that, I have a little bit of a stopgap, because this isn't actually the end of the game right now. You'll see by a lot of different factors here. So right now, in this point of the game, I'm supposed to go to Canada and take down Rex and get the next Millennium item, which I think is Millennium Rod. And just now, I think we got the 4 before that, and then we got Obelisk, and then Kaiba came, and he was like being a big old bitch, and he took Obelisk after we took down, you know, Paradox and whatever. But what we can do in between that is we can actually come here to Italy. I think I might have mentioned this, but I don't remember if I showed it off. So, but let's just go ahead and do it again anyways. But if you come back to Italy, you'll see here we've got fucking Magnum Dong over here. Oh, fantastic! So this is where I'll film my new movie. Hey, you! Are you talking to me? I'm Hollywood's superstar, Jean-Claude Van Magnum. But I'm here. But I'm sure you already knew that. I'm shooting my new film here. What are you doing here? I'm a tour guide, plus I read fortunes. Fortune telling! How absolutely spectacular! I want you to read my future regarding my marriage proposal to my Valentine. No problem. Spirits of the catacombs, answer me! Infuse me with the knowledge of the past so that I can glimpse the future. Is it working? You may marry her if you win 3 duels in a row. Really? You better not be joking. That's true. It was worth making this trip to the Italian catacombs. Let the countdown to my wedding begin. There's my first victim. I'm counting down to my marriage with Mai. Don't worry. Even when I lose, you'll still be my best man. Alright. So we're gonna do it against Jean-Claude Bandum. As you can see, I've cheated and I've got everything. We've got max deck capacity at 9,999, max duels level at the same number, and we got 9 copies of every card. Because, I mean, I'm not gonna play a game that I already played again and not cheat. Like, I'm not gonna actually play it all over again. That just is the biggest waste of my time. So we've got a somewhat broken deck. It's deck capacity wise, I think it's like at 6,000 or something like that, so it's even more or stronger presumably than the deck we had prior in the previous version of this game. As you can see by the fact that I have these Dark Elves. But the main difference is that I didn't like, or not so much the main difference, I didn't like just put in all broken cards and have like 50 copies of Dark Elf and shit like that. Instead, I did incorporate stuff like the old staples that I had, like Mythical Stand, good old Hourglass of Life here, stuff like that that was pretty, I don't want to say nostalgic, but pretty impactful in the first playthrough. But I've also kept the spirit cards, so the cards that we got from our allies in the previous game that I just threw in the deck for fun. The only difference is that I just upgraded the normal Harpy Lady to a Cyber Harpy Lady, but everything else is basically the same. No! My marriage to Mai! Oh yeah, I just need to win 3 times in a row. You never said I had to duel anybody strong. That's why I'm out of here. Farewell. I forgot to mention that if you lose even one duel, your fortune changes. Oh well. That's the little thing you can do here. And then, Bones is here, so you can talk to him. I believe I've mentioned that you can talk to him and get your fortune told, but I never actually showed it on screen. But, you can tell your fortune, and it'll just be the most random bullshit. I can see your past very clearly. Patrol Orbo. That's what you were in a previous life. Bro, what? Ha 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 ha. Patrol Orbo. That's what Curly was in a past life. I can see the similarities. How? You jackass. How do I look like a fucking robot? In the past, you played rock, paper, scissors with the past incarnation of Noah. This was at the toy shop. My fortunes are never wrong. So he just says a bunch of random scribbled garbage. But anyways. So that was one thing that we kind of missed out on, which wasn't really that big of a thing. But then there's this small or larger sort of side quest that I completely found out about accidentally afterwards, after I'd already skipped out through it. So, at this point in the game, same point as I mentioned before, you can just go to the Clock Tower Square and you'll see Taya here, and you can go ahead and talk to her. What's wrong, Taya? Why the big sigh? Well, I had a famous fortune teller do my reading. You had your fortune told? Yes, and well... Hey, good looking, why don't you mosey on over here to my arm? Oh, she looks feisty, but she's a shy one. Just the way I like it. Curly, you'll get rid of this jerk for me, right? No? Just my luck. I get hit on by a weirdo and Curly won't even help me. Curly, we should probably help her. Curly, I'm telling you, think of the consequences. Taya's the toughest girl I know, and she's not gonna let the fact that you didn't help her slide. I thought he was gonna be like, oh, she's the toughest girl I know, but we can't trust this guy or whatever. He's like, no, she's the toughest girl we know. She's gonna beat the shit out of you if you don't help her out right now. Between you and me, I'd say you should help Taya. Okay, sure. What do you want? You beat me in the duel? Ha! That's hilarious. Okay, baby. You'll be mine after I dance all over this Joker. This is Johnny Steps. He's only appeared in that one episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime where he it was somewhat a filler. I don't know if it really counts as a filler because there was actual like development that happened there. But it was the one where like Yami Yugi and Taya go on a date. And this guy was just hitting on Taya because she was like, I guess, doing a Dance Dance Revolution thing, and he was like all into her or whatever the fuck. Then he like basically does the same thing he's doing now. He's trying to kick it to Taya, and she's like, no, bro, fuck off. And rather than letting her deal with it, they make Yami duel him, and he's like, yeah, sure, of course I duel. And he just uses a bunch of random allegedly musical cards, but it's just like Sonic Made plus like Magician King and like a bunch of random nonsense, and he just gets obliterated eventually. I don't even remember what it is that Yami Yugi does, to be completely honest with you. Like, how does he beat him? I'm sure he just summons Dark Magicians and done some nonsense, but it was one of those things where it was like completely forgettable, but not like everyone remembers it. Like, if you ever think of Yu-Gi-Oh and say Johnny Steps, like pretty much everyone knows who that is, but they don't really, I'm sure, remember the duel that much. So, I wish you could have seen my dance steps. I guess that was his dance step. All right, what was up with that guy? Aha! I found you at last here, Gardner. The fortune teller said you'll bring me luck, so I want you working for me. I don't think so. Take you and your tuck somewhere else. On the contrary, you're my last chance to rekindle my dream. My dream of making Penguin Land. And you're going to help me. Forget it, creep. Curly, you can get rid of this guy too, right? A duel? Fine, a duel it is. My calculations state that my odds of winning are 1,000,000,000 to 1. And then Tail will be working for me. Now we got a duel. This fucking guy is gonna actually use Toadmaster to summon Frog the Jam. Oh no! And play Umi. Damn, what a fucking first play. He gets 2 monsters and a field power bonus. I'm not looking too great right now. Let's just, I guess, do this, because this is power this up. No, alright, so let's just end there. Nightmare Penguin's permanent effect. Powered over a monster on its own field. That's, you know, of that attribute. But Acid Trap Hole is going to kill him, and Infinite Missile is going to stop his Nightmare Penguin, who's actually kind of fucking strong. Cool beans. I got actually your boy Duran here. I can't use the effect, unfortunately, anymore, so let's just go ahead and play that in defense mode for now. But, yeah, this is basically that deck that I was using in the previous version of this game, in the previous save file. The main difference is that I've just added a couple of newer, stronger cards. And that, I don't have the Egyptian God cards anymore, because as you remember from the end of the game, I begrudgingly gave them back to Ishizu so she can steal them away, so that someone else can come back and steal them or whatever. Instead I have our old good pal, good buddy and friend, Black Skull Dragon, or sorry, Ace this time, because that's what we used to have when the game first started. And that's usually what I always do when these in the beginning for these games, because I did the same, I believe, for Sacred Cards, where my Ace started out as Black Skull Dragon, and then, you know, obviously once we got the God cards, we swapped it out for that. So Penguin's a little bit stronger than I thought he was, summoning all his like support and shit, but we managed to win eventually. I got some deck capacity as well as the Penguin Knight. Cool beans. You should learn to respect your elders, even if they're penguins. And believe me, Tam, my feathered friends are cuter than you. What's going on? This world's full of weirdos. It's just what the fortune teller predicted. Oh, yeah, you were saying something about your fortune before those guys showed up. Fortune teller predicted I would have the worst luck we've met today, and he was right on the money. Yeah, men don't get any worse than them. I'm going to lay low for the rest of the day. I don't want to run into any more cycles. I'll be back at Yuki's grandpa's shop. And then that's kind of the end of that. I don't really think there's anything else that we can do with this side quest. Yep, that's basically it. So yeah, now we're all caught up. Joey's going crazy ham going through this fountain over here. But yeah, so that's basically it. What I'm going to do next is the daunting task of beating the game all over again. And making it all the way to the end. And make it to the post game, and then we'll try and take on the Hall of Eternity, where I will probably lose my mind and have the worst time, and we'll talk about that once we get there. But until then, take care of yourself.